Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There's something rare and electric in the air when a truly awakened soul sheds a tear, something that isn't visible to the eye, but can be felt in the silence between heartbeats. It's not just an emotional moment, it's a frequency correction, a ripple sent through invisible threads that hold this reality together. Not everyone will notice it. Not everyone is meant to. But those tuned to higher vibrations, they know. They feel the temperature shift, the light bend. Something ancient responds when a chosen one releases their sorrow. We live in a world that mislabels tears, weakness, drama, emotional instability. But when a chosen one cries, it's not weakness on display. It's power unlocked. Pure, undiluted energy, raw with divinity, coded with memory, potent with purpose. These are not ordinary tears. They're sacred signals sent to the spiritual realm. Think of them like instruments, vibrational tools capable of summoning movement from the other side. Have you ever sat next to someone and felt your chest tighten, your energy shift, without them saying a word, just because they were hurting? Now imagine that person's soul is carrying divine codes, the energy of lifetimes. Imagine what their pain triggers across dimensions. That's what this message is about. And that's why you're here. You didn't stumble across this by accident. Your spirit was ready to remember this truth. There's an ancient intelligence encoded in your emotions. You were never meant to numb them. You weren't made to get over it quickly, to silence your sadness, or to hide your heart to keep others comfortable. That's not your path. You feel deeply because you were born with a resonance that transmits. You don't just experience emotion. You release frequencies that rearrange reality. And when you cry, it's not an unraveling, it's an activation. Your tears aren't just falling. They're traveling into timelines, into karmic contracts, into spiritual chambers where your ancestors, your guides, and divine forces gather to respond. This is what most people don't understand. When a chosen one cries, it's not just an emotional release, it's a command, a signal that something sacred has been breached, and balance must be restored. Have you ever noticed how people who mistreat those with pure hearts often seem to spiral afterward? It's not a curse. It's not revenge. It's a realignment. Because when someone harms a chosen one, they're not just harming a person. They're interfering with sacred architecture. And the universe always moves to correct that imbalance. Here's something few dare to say out loud. Hurting a chosen one is a spiritual offense. And spiritual offenses do not go uncorrected. People think they've won when they make you cry. But in truth, they've just triggered a spiritual chain reaction they can no longer control. Your sadness has never been ordinary. That heavy feeling in your chest, the fog in your mind, the ache in your gut, it's not weakness. It's density shifting, energy dissolving, timelines collapsing to make space for a new reality to enter. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it breaks you open. But what most people don't realize is you were never meant to stay closed. The universe moves through you like an instrument. And when the chords of your soul tremble with grief, what's really happening is a spiritual crescendo. What you're feeling isn't just yours. That pain you carry, that deep, unexplainable ache, it often belongs to more than just you. Because chosen ones don't cry solely for themselves. They carry ancestral grief, collective trauma, emotional residue from places and people they barely remember. When they release that pain, it's not a breakdown. It's a purification ritual, a cleansing of timelines that couldn't heal themselves without your presence. Your tears, whether they fell in silence or rage, didn't go unnoticed. You may not have seen a flash of lightning or heard an angelic choir, but something heard you, something moved. There are forces, guardians, protectors, divine witnesses who felt the tremor in your energy, and they began to act. This is why people who cause you pain often face sudden misfortunes. It's not drama. It's not superstition. It's because they disturbed a system that was never theirs to manipulate. When you walk with divine alignment, you walk with backup. The kind of backup that doesn't shout but shifts, that doesn't argue but rearranges, quietly, completely, unapologetically. And if you've ever wondered why, after your lowest moments, everything around you began to crumble, understand this. It wasn't chaos, it was reconstruction. People left, doors slammed shut, parts of your identity peeled away. And yes, it hurt. It felt like loss. But your spirit knew something better was being built, not better in the shallow sense, not prettier or more comfortable, but more true, more you. Have you ever had a moment where, after crying yourself empty, the world seemed quieter the next day? Not in sound, but in weight. That stillness wasn't random. It was alignment catching up to you. Your tears had cleared the clutter. The frequency was now pure enough to receive, and that's the thing. Chosen ones don't just release, they recalibrate. Their pain transforms into data, into direction, into divinely timed detours that lead them exactly where they were always meant to go. You may not even realize how powerful you are when you're hurting, but the universe does. So much so that when someone wrongs you, it isn't just your heart that breaks. It's the field of energy around you that shifts. And in that shift, truth comes to the surface. Karmic cycles accelerate. Illusions collapse. And what can't match your new vibration falls away. That's why people disappear after your heartbreak. That's why jobs dissolve, relationships collapse, and dreams die. Because your pain purified the path. And that purification, it's not over. Every time you allow yourself to feel, to really feel, you're stepping into deeper alignment with your higher self. The self that isn't afraid of sorrow. The self that doesn't need to explain their depth. The self that knows sacred power isn't loud, it's precise. And if you've ever caused a chosen one to cry, this is your spiritual mirror. Not to shame, not to condemn, but to reveal. Because the pain you caused did not vanish, it became a vibration. One that echoed through realms you cannot see. One that called upon forces you cannot command. And eventually that vibration made its way back. Not to punish, but to teach. This is why those who betray the kindest souls often find themselves haunted by their own decisions. Not because someone cursed them, but because they disturbed a field that never forgets. And if you're watching this now, hurting, healing, or awakening, you're here because your tears were not in vain. Every drop you cried watered something divine. Every ache you endured rewrote a story you didn't even know needed to be rewritten. So I want you to hear this fully. You are not breaking. You are being refined. Like crystal under pressure, like light channeled through a prism, you are becoming something your former self could only dream of. The comeback you're stepping into won't look like revenge. It won't need to. It will look like peace, like alignment, like living so fully in your truth that the past becomes a quiet teacher instead of a loud wound. You are not here to stay small. You are not here to swallow your emotions for the sake of someone else's comfort. You are here to transmute pain into prophecy, to alchemize sorrow into sacred strength. When a chosen one cries, it's never the end. It's the start of a miraculous return, one the world will never forget. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, Please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.